I never met my grandfather, Silas. My mother spoke of him as if he were a ghost long before he actually died, a man of difficult shadows, she called him. So when the lawyers called to say I'd inherited his estate in rural Vermont, I expected a dusty shack. I didn't expect Blackwood Manor, and I certainly didn't expect the condition attached to the deed. A single handwritten note from Silas himself. The house is yours, Leo, but the attic door must remain locked. If you hear a voice from within, remember, the dead don't speak, and the living shouldn't listen. I laughed it off. I thought it was just the ramblings of a senile old man. I was dead wrong. The house was a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, sitting on 50 acres of dead pine trees. My mother, Elena, insisted on coming with me to help pack up Silas's belongings. From the moment we stepped inside, she was different, pale, shaking. She kept staring at the ceiling as if she could feel the weight of the attic pressing down on us. He was a collector, Leo, she whispered as we walked through the grand hallway. But he didn't collect things. He collected echoes. I didn't ask what she meant. I wish I had. The first night was silent. Too silent. You know that ringing in your ears when a room is perfectly quiet? It was like that, but deeper. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a sound that made my blood turn to ice. It was a soft, rhythmic thumping coming from directly above my bed. The attic. It sounded like someone was dragging something heavy, something wet across the floorboards. Then the voice started. It was faint, a mere vibration in the air. Leo, honey, help me. My heart stopped. It was my mother's voice, but my mother was sleeping in the guest room down the hall. I checked. She was there, fast asleep, her breathing heavy and rhythmic. I stood in the hallway, caught between two versions of the same person. Over the next few days, the attic mother became more aggressive. She didn't just whisper, she screamed. She knew things, private things. She talked about the time I fell off the roof when I was 6. She talked about the secret bank account I'd hidden from my ex-wife. Things the real Elena couldn't possibly know. The real Elena, meanwhile, was deteriorating. She stopped eating. She would sit in the kitchen, staring at the locked attic door at the top of the stairs, her eyes wide and bloodshot. "It's calling you, isn't it?" she asked me on the 4th day. Her voice was raspy, almost unrecognizable. He did this to me, too. He kept my voice in a jar before I even learned to speak. The tension reached a breaking point when I found the keys. They weren't hidden. They were sitting right on the kitchen table, tied with a black ribbon. My mother was nowhere to be found. I called her name, but the only response came from the attic. "Leo, she's hurting me. Open the door. Please, he's coming back for us." The voice was so raw, so full of agony, that my survival instinct was overruled by my protective one. I grabbed the keys and ran up the stairs. The air grew colder with every step. The wood groaned under my feet like it was in pain. I reached the attic door. It was reinforced with iron bands, looking more like a vault than a room. I put the key in the lock. My hand was shaking so hard I nearly dropped it. Just as the bolt clicked, a hand grabbed my shoulder. I spun around, ready to strike, but it was my mother. The real Elena. Or so I thought. She looked terrified, but there was something off. Her reflection in the hallway mirror. It didn't have a face. Just a smooth, pale surface where her features should be. "Don't," she hissed. "If you open it, the echo becomes the original." From inside the attic, the voice screamed one last time. "Leo, she's not your mother. Look at her hands." I looked down. My mother's hands had 6 fingers, all of them ending in sharp, blackened points. I didn't hesitate. I twisted the handle and flung the attic door open. The room wasn't a room. It was a void, a swirling mass of gray mist and flickering lights, and in the center of it, tied to a chair made of human bone, was my mother, the real Elena. She looked decades older, her hair white and her skin translucent. She looked at me with hollow eyes and whispered, "You took too long, Leo. The house already fed." I turned back to the hallway, but the faceless woman was gone. In her place was a shadow that looked exactly like me. I'm writing this from the attic now. I've been here for what feels like years, though the clock on the wall hasn't moved a second. My mother is gone. The house processed her, as Silas's journals put it. I can hear myself downstairs. I can hear Leo talking to the lawyers, signing the papers, laughing with friends I haven't seen in ages. He sounds just like me. He acts just like me. But every night at 3 a.m. he comes to the door. He doesn't open it. He just leans his head against the wood and whispers, "Thanks for the house, Leo. I'll take good care of your life. If you ever inherit a house from a stranger, check the attic. And if you hear your own voice calling for help, don't answer. You're already too late."